hit my front porch and went straight up in the air and landed on my head.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I had the same reaction.
Huh?
Live in town?
I live like out in Hamburg, so I had to like, when I get like no notice that this thing moves up 30 minutes, I'm in, you know, it's a problem.
I'm with you,
I
brother.
like threw on a baseball cap and like ran out the door and forgot like all about the fact that like, oh yeah, you might kill yourself.
I was about to grab lunch
Oh,
and saw the same thing. I was like, son of a.
I seriously think I might have like broke out.
I didn't eat. I was like, well, there goes lunch. Yeah, do that later.
At least I made it, then I got here and there's nobody back there and I was like,
Yeah, I had the same reaction without the falling part.
oh man, that hurts.
You got the brunt of it.
At least I didn't crash my car, it was a little precarious.
Oh, man, it was.
I was driving way too fast for the condition.
Not worth an accident, dude.
Tell that to my people.
Telling James, I thought 1:30, I thought, okay, it'll be 2 or 2:30.
Right.
I was just
Not
2:30.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, I saw the 1 o'clock and we were kidding each other. I said the overnight was 2:30. Way off. One second. Sure.
It is Cal, right?
Me and Schwacker drive down on Thursday. Yeah.
To Duluth.
Yep.
Why do they have it in Duluth?
It's beautiful this time of year.
Told you. All right, ready? Oh, we're on the live stream right now. Super. Ben Roberts. Hi, Ben. What's that?
So an invitation to transplant publicity today.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
bag went flying and landed on the sidewalk. Well, I haven't opened it yet. Oh, man. This is a great argument, by the way, for using your garage and work car.
Yeah.
Hey, you do have a garage. Yeah, well, it's real tight for two. Like, not a bigger car. It's super tight. And we have much crap in it. Yeah, I'm string that room again. Yeah, so can't get it. That's where you get all that stuff out. Yeah, so I have a garage. I miss having a garage.
Finally got a chance to work. Yeah.
It doesn't come across our. Especially after reading with I read that.
That's good. Yeah, it counts.
Get your attention. Those are things that I read and I can't. Yeah.
You do. I do. Work hard, man. Work hard, man. Proud of you. Yeah, we're proud of you. Hey, you're asking me for quickness.
Yeah, I saw that. Kristen used to do something.
Oh. I think I may have broken it anyway. It's really already. Oh. He's really burning everybody else. Yep, you're right, I do, Ben.
Yes.
So Cal, how do you fix things?
One little thing at a time. Just keep coaching them and keep meeting with them, keep talking with them, keep showing them tape. They're 18 and 19-year-olds. It was only 2 weeks ago. We're like, okay, we got this figured out. 2 weeks later, you know, we don't have it figured out. So.
John, they seem to play well at South Carolina when Coach Robick was
he's a better coach than me.
No,
He's
I
a
mean
better
that,
coach than me, Jerry.
but a different voice.
He's a better coach than me. a better coach. Should let him be the head coach.
So when are you resigning?
As soon as you retire.
And we're stuck with each other. Yeah, how much regret do you
Go ahead.
have, Cal?
You said today that, you know, this is on me. What things, personally, what do you wish you maybe had done different over the course of this year, if any specific?
No, how this plays out, at the end of the day, where we are, they're 18 and 19. It's my job. They need me to keep leading them. It was 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago that I said, if I have to be 35-year-old and coach like that, I will. Throughout my career, there's not been one way that I've done things. There's not been one offense or zone defense or press or, you know, it's whatever the team needs from me. And that's what I do. And at the end of the day, I take responsibility. I never put it on the kids. It's on me. And so we're here. We got to get these kids playing more confident. Part of it is you've got to work your way through it. Part of it is when adversity hits, will you come together? And it's all stuff we're learning.
John, you said the team needs you to lead them. How can you put yourself in a position to get tossed at South Carolina, and they needed you then?
Well, again, it wasn't like people walked up and said, you did that on purpose. I didn't do it on purpose. But after that point, hopefully I've led well enough that they don't need me out there and they can perform. That's leadership. That you can, sometimes you're sick, you step away, something happens, and the ship moves on, and you look back and say, boy, I've done a good job of leading because I've had other people around me and a team that knows they can do this without me. I think that was important for them to see. But again, you know, this team is a work in progress. A lot of young players. 2 weeks ago, Florida, Mississippi, we got this figured out. 2 weeks later, all of a sudden, we're like a bunch of teams in the top 25 that lost. Some of us lost to unranked teams. You lose, and you regroup and figure it out.
Has this group been tougher to figure out overall?
They're just younger. They're younger.
John, why has the offense declined especially shooting percentage the last 2 or 3 games, and what can you do to fix it?
Well, part of it is we're getting no free baskets, and the ones we're getting next to the goal, for some reason, we're missing. So if you look over the last 3 games, I'm guessing we've missed over 20 one-foot shots. I mean, right next to the goal. You're talking about out-rebounding teams by 20-some rebounds each game and getting no breakout baskets. So we're not getting enough free baskets. We've been working hard on running and getting it out and going. The other thing I think, again, getting the ball in the basket with contact. You got to get it in. You can't have an excuse. You got to get the ball in. So we've been working on that some with the kids. We're trying to do stuff to let them know what you need to do, you're capable of doing. Now, you have to get out there and do it.
Is it possible after the fact to go back and sort of say to those guys, you know, to effectively scrub the expectations that people came into this and they came into this season?
You keep going. It's all a process. I mean, where we are right now has no bearing where we're going to be. It's what are you willing to do to get yourself to play better? We have a team, we have a style, we have the defense, we have an offense. We're good enough to do what we have to do. Now, the biggest thing is when adversity hits, will you come together? And it's, you know, you just keep making a point of it. You show them in the tape where we started to break down, where things didn't go quite our way. So,
do you think how they think of themselves is still at times sort of colored by those beginning of the season expectations? You know, we're not a 40-0 team.
I'm not in their mind. You'd have to ask them. I don't know. All I'm trying to do is let's get ready for our next game.
John, on the teleconference, I got the idea that you're thinking about a lighter tone, that maybe the coaching like 35, maybe you should go to 55. What sense?
Whatever they need from me is how I coach, and that's what they know. Whatever they need, and I've done it every year I've coached. So anywhere I've coached, that's been the case. Now, if you remember 2 weeks ago, if you really were listening, where I said we need this to be driven by players. Well, what does that mean? That I've stepped back, that they take on more responsibility. Obviously, they weren't ready. Now, if I have to coach every possession, I will. It's not what I want to do. And what I want them to do is take on more responsibility. Also, to where they're talking to one another and holding each other accountable. If they hold each other accountable, it's less I have to do. But it's hard for an 18 or 19-year-old group. When you got juniors and seniors, you can do it. We're asking them to grow up fast. That's what we do here. That's what we've always done here. But, you know, again, I'm gonna be what they need me to be, because the job here, for me, is about them, not me. Now, you can all focus it on me, and what my job is about these young people. How can I get them to understand adversity hits, you gotta come together. How you gotta play more for your teammate. How you build self-esteem and self-confidence. That's what we're doing. And I said it, you know, there are a lot of things we're teaching now that may not hit home, but it may hit home 10 years from now, that they look at it. Inner dialogue, all the things we're talking about. The dregs of all that stuff that we gotta deal with. But again, my mind hadn't changed about this team. It's just that we gotta get them in a little different mindset. We gotta practice it, and then they gotta carry over in the game. And when adversity hits, when the other team tries to take the game or take it from you, you just don't let them, you respond to it.
Cal, right now, what's working and what's not working offensively for juniors?
Again, they're being really physical with them. They're still running people at them. You say what's not working, the kid's averaging a double-double last 3 or 4 games. I don't know if he should be averaging 25 and 15. Want him to shoot a few more jumpers than he's shooting. Everything is a drive right now when there are opportunities for him to shoot jumpers. But again, he's got to be comfortable doing it, more confident doing it. He's doing fine. I mean, again, you know, we talked about our 2010 team. They were never an execution team. They just were a competitive team. They would look at another guy. That's what we're trying to grow to here. You got to make this personal. You got to make some of it like I'm going at this guy, and that's what we're trying to get to.
Cal, after the game, Aaron said that he thinks it's still going to be a great story at the end of the year. Is that the attitude you want out of a loss
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah. I mean, it's exactly what we want. Exactly what we want. You're not. I know we were the only team to lose on Saturday. But you deal with it and you move on. And now how do we get this team thinking right? And great group of kids, just young. And like I've said to them, I'm not saying that an 18 and 19-year-old kid is responsible. I'm responsible to get them to play right, to get them in the right frame of mind. If they're not in that frame of mind, that's back to me. This team is young because we recruited a young team. So all of it comes back to me.
So John, with what you've gone through the last couple of years on that, does that reassess how you're recruiting, or do you, or not?
I
How
don't
you
think
to
so.
make up the team and
I
putting the
think,
team
look,
together?
I'd like to have guys stay for me, but if the opportunity arises for them, I'm not gonna hold guys back. I mean, I'm recruiting good players. Some of them people think would go, others think they wouldn't go. You don't know until the year's out. You just don't know. I mean, the environment we're in, you can either convince kids to stay that should leave, or recruit players who aren't quite good enough to be here and compete. I'll recruit a top 50. He thinks he's one and done too. I mean, that's why the rule, like I keep coming back to, I'm hoping this rule changes and it goes to 2 years. It makes it good for the kids, high school kids, college kids, the NBA. It's good for everybody.
Cal, a lot of coaches have talked about that, wanting to change the rule, but it's an NBA rule. How much is that going to take some cooperation on your part?
It's not. It'll be between the NBA and the Players Association. It has nothing to do with us. My hope is they come to terms with it and they know it's best for everybody involved, including the players.
Cal, you're probably gonna say that can't figure out what your kids are thinking, but do you think your kids are having fun this year playing ball?
It's hard to have fun playing ball here. Remember John Wall coming into me? I'm not having fun. I think we were 19-0 at the time. It's hard to have fun here. You gotta make it fun. And today, when we met, it looked like they were good with each other. They know playing at Kentucky's not easy. It's a tough deal. And lose a couple games makes it even tougher. It's just how it is here. You buy into it being the coach here or being a player here.
John, how tough is it to balance being demanding with trying to reinforce and build confidence?
Well, one thing I know, being a coach, if you don't hold guys accountable, you lose your team. So one thing I know, if you don't hold guys, this in that story you're trying to write, probably the most important thing. The most important thing, as a coach, if you do not hold guys accountable, you lose your team. Now, how you do that, there's all kind of different ways of doing it. And throughout the year, it changes. You talk for a while, you have them in the office, you yell, you scream, you sit them out of games, you take them out of games, you do whatever you have to. Everyone on the team needs to know everybody's being held accountable. If you don't hold them accountable, you lose your team.
Cal, you got to start Jared and John tomorrow.
Yes.
With those guys.
Yes.
Along those lines, you talk about sitting guys. Has the bench not been your friend as much as you thought it would be this year?
Bench has been fine. Bench has been fine. I mean, I think Jared's, Dominic, I think Alex and Willie are Dakari. I think Marcus Lee at times has done good things. John Hood has gone in and played as well as he's ever played in his career. So I don't think that's the issue for our team.
John, what recourse do you have? You obviously, you had issues with the officiating Saturday. What recourse do you have?
I can't talk about officials. No reason to do it.
Do you have to address that with the guys, though? It seems like some of them have, over the course of the season, gotten frustrated playing.
Players
getting
play,
beat up.
players play, coaches coach, and officials officiate. That's how it is. And that's what we talk about all the time. And you try to protect your kids, but at the end of the day, the way the game is being called, it's being called. Play. They officiate, you play, and I coach.
Cal, do you
Last
use the
question.
league at all to quietly, we get.
Use the what?
Use the league to.
What league?
The conference, to say, hey, look, I don't like the refereeing, here's why, here's examples, quietly without talking to us.
Look, the rules have changed, how they're supposed to officiate. It's supposed to be called closer, 20 feet and 2 feet. It's supposed to be the same. Those are what the rule, did I do? I made the one and we're done rule. Did I also the one that changed those rules? I didn't change them, they were, and then we all taught a certain way of having to play. And that's what you're teaching. And short of that, that's the only thing I can control is how we play. Not how the other guy plays, not how the official officiates, not how the other guy coaches, only on what we teach and how we do it, which is, this is what we were told the game would be called like.
So you sound like in a calmer way, Boeheim after the game, when he
I had
said, this is
not-
the rule.
No, you asked me a question, I answered it.
Are you saying they're not calling the rules the way they
No,
changed?
you asked me a question and I gave you an answer. That, I can only control what they tell me we can do, and that's what we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll bring the players out here, bring them one at a time.
John, hopefully.
senior chair, we're gonna let him make an opening statement. Go over questions?
Jared, to us, because people come in and out of here so much, it seems like you've been here a long time. Does it feel that way to you?
It does in a way. I mean, at the same time, it feels kind of like it's flown by. So I can remember freshman year getting here, and then it seems like forever ago that was the case. So yeah, it does seem like I've been here a while.
What's going to be your best memory of your time here?
Oh man, I'd probably have to say the national championship. Just growing up and watching it on TV, and then just being a part of it was really special for me.
It's more likely to cry, you're done.
John. Easily.
No hesitation.
No hesitation.
How much did you grow up, Jared, wanting to play for Kentucky?
That was always my dream school. I'll be honest, I would probably never expected that I'd actually be here. But yeah, I mean, I was a Kentucky fan my whole life, and my dad was his whole life before that. So I knew that if I ever got the opportunity to play for Kentucky, that I would always take it. So it's really just a dream come true for me to be here. And I've been here for 4 years, and all the things I've experienced is really special for me and my family.
How much has it been? I'm sure when some people thought when they recruited you late in the process and so forth, oh, you know, he'll get some minutes here and there, but you've been much more of a factor than that. How much, how much, has it been any different in that regard than what you thought it would be, or did you think all along, I've got a chance to make a sizable contribution?
I mean, me personally, just being a competitor, I always thought that maybe down the road I would get significant minutes and be able to compete with Division I opponents. And I don't know if a lot of people thought that, even people that were close to me would ever think that, just because Kentucky's on such a high level. So I'm just really grateful for everything that I've been a part of and everything I've been able to accomplish. And I don't know, it's just like a dream come true.
Jared, you said the championship was obviously top on the team list, but is that Maryland game still the top individual moment there you've had?
I guess so, individually speaking. I mean, that was the first time I ever really played in the game that mattered. And yeah, that was just kind of the rise of my career, whatever, playing time and stuff. So yeah, that was definitely special for me.
Jared, everybody wants to play for Kentucky, but not a lot of people get to do that. You've seen behind the curtain, so to speak. What is it like that regular people don't understand?
Probably just how hard it is. I guess people a lot of times see the glamour of it and how everyone's a pop star and all that stuff. And that's really cool, and being able to be role models for kids and stuff like that. That's really cool. But a lot of hard work goes into it, and we like that. We call it the grind. So that's pretty cool for us. And yeah, I guess just the hard work and everything they get to put into it to be successful.
Cal Press said it's hard to play. What do you think he meant by that?
I mean, you're always looked at. You're always the fans are always looking at you 24/7, and if you have a bad game, then everyone's going to see it. And I don't know. It's just a really I don't know what a good word is, but I mean, everyone's just watching you at all times. So that's probably the hardest thing about it.
Insert the word fun in place of play.
You said
Hard
what?
to have fun here. Insert the word fun instead of play. Hard to have fun playing.
Is it hard to have fun playing here?
He said it's hard to have fun playing.
I don't think it's hard to have fun playing here. I mean, we have the best fans in the nation, and I don't know. For me personally, I mean, I've always wanted to play at Kentucky, so every time I step on the court, it's fun for me.
Jared, where's this team's mood at after Saturday?
I think we're in a good spot. I mean, to where we could be. I don't think we've given up on the season at all. I think we're just trying to improve and work harder than we ever have before. And we really don't think the season's over, and we think we can write our own story, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. So we can't look at the last 2 games and just say we're done. We have to work harder than we have all season, and I think that's what we're doing right now.
There's
Coach
starting
said-
to be more and more similarities, at least to this point, to last year. Why will this one go differently? Why do you think this team, or is this team made up differently?
I mean, I don't know how to compare the two, but I know for this team specifically that we've met a lot, and we've told each other that we are writing our own story from here on out, and everything starting 0-0. We're starting fresh, and I think our spirits are better than what people think they are, and I don't know. I think we just think it's on us, and we're just going to go out and compete every day.
Coach said a moment ago that he's still trying to figure out whether to be a hard ass, pardon my French, or a nice player coach kind of guy. What do you think you guys would respond to best at this point?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's on us. I mean, people are kind of hounding Cal right now, but at the end of the day, it's really on the players. I mean, we have to, no matter how he's coaching, we have to respond to that in a good way. And I think we've had a lot of talks with him personally and us as a team. So I think we're in a good spot, and no matter what happens, we know that at the end of the day, we have to go out and perform. It's not anyone else. It's us as players have to perform.
It's kind of like us against the world now, after you guys lose in a couple games, and you know how it's like around here.
I mean, that's kind of how we're looking at it. I mean, everyone around the nation doesn't think we have a shot. They think we're done for, and yeah, that's kind of what we're rallying behind. It's us against the world, and we're going to prove everyone wrong.
Anything else for Jared? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jared.
Really feels like you've been here a long time.
Yeah.
Does it feel that way to you?
I mean, it does, but at the same time, I feel like it's flown by. Seems like yesterday I was playing with John, Eric, DeMarcus, in here late nights working out. National championship. It flies by, but when you really think about it, that was 5 years ago. So.
How much does it mean to you, the relationships you've had with guys like DeMarcus and John Wall, and each year, you've played with a whole bunch of guys?
Yeah, it definitely means the world to me. Being able to call those guys up, just chit chat, talk, whatever. Need something basketball wise, or just talk to them how they're playing, how they're doing. Even outside of basketball, guys that I've met around here, media guys, different people around the program. It's good to connect with people, and I don't think that the fans understand that part of it.
What do you see as a guy who's seen every team that has played for Cal? What do you see in this group? And what signs do you see that maybe this won't go the way last year went?
Well, we've met with each other a lot, both as a team and then individual subgroups. I mean, with Cal, without Cal. It is kind of us against the world now. I mean, it's on us. It's not on anybody else. Kind of got our backs against the wall, fighting the way that we need to.
Cal was saying a moment ago that he's still trying to decide whether to be a hard ass or whether to be a coach's player, go easier or lighten the mood somewhat. What do you think you guys would respond best to at this point?
Whatever works. I mean, honestly, it's not anything that he can do. It's the way we take it, the way we take the messages, and the way that we play. He's not out there playing for us. He's not in between the lines. He can only do so much. Once you step across, there's no turning back. You just got to let it loose and play.
What's the difference between the Kentucky of the first 30 minutes against Florida and the last 10 minutes against
respect the game a lot more.
What's kind of been your best moment, your best memory, maybe as a team and personally as well?
As a team, I'd say it had to be, of course, win the national title. As a player personally, I really enjoyed spending the last 4 years with this young man, Jared Polson over here. I mean, personally, it's not about on the court stuff. I enjoy late night workouts over here. I mean, I've done it with John, Eric, DeMarcus, Jared and I've come over, Kyle when he was here, different guys. That's what will mean the most to me after this. And just the relationships that I've had with people and the connections.
What do you want to do next?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Nothing's set in stone yet, so we'll approach that when graduation comes.
Will it be a basketball thing or something else?
I don't know if I want to go get a job or if I'll want to go into coaching. I feel like I'd be a really good coach, but at the same time, I feel like I wouldn't be a really good coach. So,
Why do you think that, John?
why do I think I wouldn't be a really good coach?
Either way, I mean, both ways.
Because I would nitpick people to death. I'm very much a perfectionist when it comes to basketball. I know how it's supposed to be played. I know what it's supposed to look like. And I think that can go both ways. It's just at what level would that be?
Is that a frustrating thing then, a guy that's a basketball perfectionist to play in a program where 5 to 7 guys come in every year that start out not knowing anything about how to play it the way it should be played?
It's hard. And I think that's why coach has told me or has called me a coach, because I'll get on different guys. I'll tell them, hey, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to lift, you're supposed to cut back door when he turns his head. I mean, little stuff, and mostly it's just veteran stuff that Coach Cal sees. I mean, just veteran plays. Hey, if guy's got his arm in, go up into him. Stuff like that.
If you do go into coaching, what would you take from Coach Calipari?
I know the dribble drive offense in and out, so I mean, that's one thing. I know how to motivate players, how to make it a players program, and he's a good coach. He knows what he's doing. I would take everything from Cal.
How much do you think Coach Robig's presence as the coach, he took over as coach the last 10 minutes, was a factor in how the last 10 minutes unfolded, or what do you attribute that to?
I mean, Coach Robig's a good coach. He's coached before. He was a head coach. He knows what he's talking about. And I mean, it's not like we brought in some Joe Schmo from off the street to finish the game. I mean, he's an assistant coach, associate head coach for a reason. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. I don't know if that affected the game or anything, but it was, I mean, new light, fresh air, I guess. I don't know.
I think every year preseason you got asked, did you think about going somewhere else where maybe you play more and shoot more and do all that sort of stuff? Any regrets as you get to the end of it that you didn't try that?
No regrets at all. I wouldn't trade this for anything. I mean, my experience in my 5 years here have been the best time of my life, and just I don't know. I guess it's kind of hitting me right now that it's coming to an end, but oh well.
Would you look back on the Mississippi State game with a lot of fondness? I mean, that was you played a key role.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what role I played. A win's a win. I played 5 seconds in the loss against South Carolina. It was a loss, so that'll haunt me. It was a loss. I mean, the games that I don't play in, we lost. We won. I mean, I'll still remember those the same way.
You think you'll look back in like 5 years and see all these guys in the NBA that you've played with and really reflect and be like, well, that's amazing that I was able to play with all of these guys?
Yeah, hopefully I'm sitting in whatever arena they're playing in thinking that, and call them up, get some tickets. But I will. I'll keep in touch with every guy that I've played with here. I mean, NBA or not. I mean, I'll keep a good relationship with Coach Robick, and we've always had one, and I'll see where I go.
John, what do you think? You've seen behind the curtain. I think I asked Jared the same thing. What's behind the curtain that maybe most fans don't realize or appreciate?
All the hard work.
they don't see the hard work that we put in the summer. I think some fans think that we just go home and take a break all summer and don't do anything and just sit there. No, we're here, we're running. I mean, constant workouts. We do late night workouts with different coaches, weightlifting. I mean, they don't see all the hard work.
Do you know what Cal means when he says it's hard to have fun here as a player?
No. I'm having a blast. I could see if you're not playing, if you have the wrong attitude, wrong approach to it, I could see that. I mean, I'm having fun. Jared's, from what I can tell, having fun. All the guys this year, I mean, basketball's fun. If it's not, you need to go somewhere else and do something else with your life.
Would you agree that you and Jared are fan favorites, and why do you think that is?
Probably just because we're Kentucky kids. That's probably the only reason.
Do you like the song?
The song.
It's just your name over and over again with students.
Oh, the band?
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I didn't realize what they were doing till like 2 or 3 games after they started it last year. It's pretty funny.
Are you most likely to cry? Last question. Are you most likely to cry? Jared said you would.
No, that's Jared. No. Honestly, I don't think either one of us will cry. We'll be happier. I mean, we won't cry.
All right, thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.